Welcome back to another live. I'm Shango, and as the title says, we'll be talking about the Galaxy S23. So today, Samsung release or Samsung Unpacked event happened, and they unpacked a couple of different devices. They're talking about the Galaxy Book, the Galaxy S23 trees, the S23, S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra. We're mainly gonna talk about the S23, so to speak, the cameras. Just talk about the S23 and what they were talking about. So let's look at a brief vibe that happened at the event. Let's just see what happened at the event itself.
The Galaxy experience has always been fueled by our commitment to deliver innovation and technology to help you do more each day. The power of Ultra comes from our best hardware working hand in hand with our most innovative software. I think you'll agree, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is as iconic and striking as ever. And this year, the Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus take cues from this groundbreaking design, creating a cohesive look and feel across the series. From design to power to intelligence, the elements of Ultra come together in our best camera yet.
With Super HDR, you can capture a wider range of light and dark tones in your videos with more accurate colors. The cameras combine readings from both low and high ISO to produce high-quality images with a wider 12-bit dynamic range spectrum of colors. Thanks to the 1.5 times increase in full well capacity, which increases the maximum amount of charge that each pixel can hold before saturation, allowing us to bring 4K Super HDR technology at 60 frames per second to both the rear and front cameras for the very first time. With this model's processor, you can now film in 8K at 30 frames per second with a wider angle for a more cinematic feel.
All right, so as you can see, they're showing off the cameras. They're showing off the Galaxy S23s, mainly the S23 Ultra, because that's their flagship phone. I'm expecting the event to show most of what's going on with the flagship phone. So far, we have seen that this phone is ridiculous, for the lack of a better word. This phone is so crazy. It's so powerful that I don't even know how to really express it, but this phone is something else. So we're gonna watch the presentation, and then after the presentation we can kind of talk about it in more in depth, because this is kind of my first time really watching the presentation. So let's just continue watching it.
Also enhance the camera to absorb 2.5 times more light than before, giving you brighter footage. The Galaxy S23 Ultra packs 200 million pixels in the main wide camera. These
200 million pixel in the main wide camera. 200 million pixels. Wow.
Pixels transform based on lighting conditions with our new adaptive pixel sensor. When lighting is low, 16 pixels combine into one larger pixel to capture more light, resulting in brighter photos. In standard lighting conditions, the pixels combine into groups of 4 through our new tetrasquaring process, resulting in higher quality 50 megapixel images. We've made it easier to autofocus with Super Quad Pixel, which uses each of the 200 million pixels to easily bring your subject into sharp focus. By using 4 adjacent pixels to detect differences from left to right and top to bottom, it allows the camera to autofocus faster because it has more points of reference. To bring the shots they envision to life,
Yo, these features are ridiculous. Mind you, iPhone, Samsung, they always talk about their photography, how the phone can capture photography. As a photographer myself, I see photography different. I use a DSLR. I sometimes use my phone to capture photography. It's a completely different world when it comes to capturing photography with your phone, because capturing photography with your phone is not the same as capturing photography with a phone, with a camera. Most phones are doing a lot of compositing. Your phone using its chip to do a lot of stuff. We're talking about trying to make the shadows right, trying to make the light. It's doing a lot of compositing, so to speak. And your camera doesn't really do that. Most time you're shooting in RAW, and when you're shooting RAW, then you can after you're shooting RAW, then you will now edit it on your computer. So the phones are basically doing that while you're taking the photo. As you take the photo, the phone goes through the process and basically spit out what the phone believes to be a good result. And the iPhone does that, the Pixel does that, all the phones basically does this. So yeah.
Pro Video Mode gave our directors the ability to meticulously change their camera settings for focus, white balance, ISO, and more. And with Clean Preview, they were able to remove the UX when monitoring takes, which means they could frame every shot with ease. This is a new feature added to Camera Assistant, our app that allows you to choose and adjust a range of camera settings.
That's actually a welcoming feature. Like, as an iPhone user, we don't really get all of these pro modes. And these pro modes allow you to use your phone in a more professional way. And, if you can get a clean view and you can, change all the settings, the ISO, the white balance, and all these stuff right in your phone, you really have a professional device in your hand that you can literally do anything on. And Samsung basically is stepping up the game, and giving professional persons who will be using their phones professionally for content creation all the necessary tools that will allow them or assist them to do it really good.
From activating a faster shutter to auto lens switching. With GIF Remaster, I can sharpen each frame to enhance the quality of GIFs that somebody else created. You can also take videos and photos that are out of this world. Astro Hyperlapse allows everyday users to capture the starry night sky with professional quality. And with Expert RAW, users can get detailed metadata for more creative control. To help you easily take photos.
All right, stuff like that. Those features are, as I said, welcoming for persons who use their phone like that. Raw features on your phone allow you to capture images in RAW, and then you can then process these images. That's what I do when I am shooting my photography. I'll shoot RAW in my camera and then process these images. Now, that gives you a lot of latitude, a lot of flexibility in terms of when you're trying to color your image, the style, the feel, the look that you're going for. It creates that energy and that vibes that most professional would want. But remember, phones is not just for a professional. Phones are for everybody. And because of this, the compositing that phone has to do is quite important, because a person don't necessarily want to take a picture on their phone and then have to go in front of their computer to process this picture to then post it on one of their social media. It has to be done right there as they take the photo. And that's what all the phones are doing. The Samsungs, the Pixels, the Google Pixels, the iPhones, all of them have their different way of processing their photos. And here's Samsung talking about theirs.
Photos that would usually require an elaborate setup. We're also introducing multiple exposures and astrophoto to expert RAW.
Optical image stabilization, or OIS, is a technology that helps increase the steadiness of your footage. It adjusts the lens in the opposite direction of motion detected while filming. On the Galaxy S23 Ultra, we've doubled OIS's capabilities to increase the area in which motion can be offset. This OIS hardware works alongside adaptive VDIS to analyze and subdivide your movements and to recognize light conditions around you. Improved software and AI further strengthen the...
All right, so these things is getting crazy. Like phones are getting so crazy and so good that it's getting ridiculous. Like if your phone can do this level of stabilization and your phone can shoot certain quality video, certain quality, you know, it almost like sooner or later, probably in the next 5-10 years, nobody will be using DSLRs. And mind you, there's some things that your phone won't be able to do, but it's it's impressive where phone is right now in terms of the quality that you can get from your phone and how impressed I am with the stuff that they're talking about that the phones can do. As I saw a while ago, the image stabilization. And this image stabilization is 2 times better than on the S22. So it's crazy.
Low light video experience. A dedicated new image processing algorithm separates noise and details by performing multi-frame processing with AI, which combines multiple images across frames to reduce noise. The Galaxy S23 series uses an enhanced solution to reduce overexposure and color saturation in your videos. With our improved night solution, the image sensors on the Galaxy S23 series work to minimize visual noise. And an AI-powered ISP algorithm enhances object details and color tone. And for portraits, AI Stereo Depth Map is able to detect individual objects. It can even separate a person's glasses from the background of your photo. So the details of your portrait are crisp and clear. Before, I never really got asked to share my photos. But now, with the Galaxy S23 series, everyone always wants me to share photos with them. Take a look. That's the AI at work. When we're taking a group shot, the AI Object Aware Engine recognizes different objects, like our hair and clothes, and separates them from the background. Then it enhances the details of each object for clear photos and videos. Meanwhile, the camera's dual pixel technology improves autofocus, so you can see the depth and detail more accurately. And depending on the mood you want to convey in your selfies, we've added color tone, which lets you choose from natural or warm tone. And that's just the beginning of the epic camera experience that Galaxy S23 series provides. With nightography, your gallery will be full of share-worthy photos and videos that truly capture your favorite memories in vivid color.
S23 and S23 Plus bring you a 50-megapixel wide camera. And the Galaxy S23...
All right, so I am impressed. I am impressed with these Galaxies. I am impressed with the Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus, and I'm also impressed with the Ultra. I'm more impressed with the Ultra because the Ultra is the one that will be getting majority of these standout features. The 200 megapixel camera. You know, all of these megapixel camera and what I have seen based on the reviews that I've watched. I've watched a review with MKHB. So I've watched review with MKHB. I've also watched a review with Mr. Who is the Boss. And based on what they're saying, most of these persons get the phone from Galaxy. And they have been, testing it. They have been, putting it through rounds and then give their take. And what they're saying is that these phones are good, really, really good. They are really, really impressive, especially when it comes to comparing it to the S22. Mind you, there's some things that it falls short in when it comes to the S22. For instance, I think Mr. Who is the boss, Mr. Who is the boss point out that the zoom capability tend to look much sharper, the 100x zoom on the S22 as opposed to the S23, and stuff like that they are pointing out that the S23 falls short, but the S23 falls way above the rest, even past iPhones when it comes to their image stabilization and things like that. The video is now much better because iPhone is the video king when it comes to producing good video. The S23 seems to be providing good video as well, and so far it has been something that most persons are looking at. The event was a good event. I can't say it's anything like an Apple event, but the event is good. They presented their devices. They present the S23. They presented the S23 Ultra. They presented the devices. We're gonna take more of a look on the S23 and the S23 Plus. So let's take a look at that.
The Galaxy S23 series has powerful battery while maintaining the smartphone's compact form. The Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus have 3,900 milliamps and 4,700 milliamps respectively. And for the S23 Ultra, we've maintained the 5,000 milliamp battery without increasing the device's size, even with the larger camera. We've improved the cooling system on the Galaxy S23 series, so your smartphone can regulate its temperature while maintaining powerful performance. The vapor chamber is central to this process and is now larger than before. So you can game or stream music and videos for even longer. As part of our commitment to open innovation, we've worked closely with our partners at Qualcomm to optimize the Galaxy experience with the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy. It's the most powerful and efficient platform ever in a Galaxy smartphone. And it's the fastest Snapdragon ever. Capturing stunning photos in low light requires trillions of calculations per second. And we've optimized our highly efficient NPU architecture that balances performance and power by about 49%, using an AI algorithm to help you take epic photos and videos. And this year, the most significant...
Yes, so as you can see, the S23 system itself, like the entire system that it's built on is a brand new system with the Snapdragon 8 for Galaxy. And we are expecting these phones to do what they say, it will do, a very good phone for gaming. I, not recently, but I remember back then when I was in Jamaica, I got the S21 Ultra from Samsung and I reviewed it, and it was a really, really impressive phone. The sound quality, the camera quality, the display quality, everything about it was a good phone. So I can imagine the S23, that was the S21, and it was such a good phone, the Ultra. So I can just imagine what the S23 is like. I would love to get it in my hand. I've been looking to see if I see an experience store near me, so I actually can go there and experience it for myself. But I am quite impressed based on all the reviews I've seen about the S23 Plus and the S23 Ultra. These should be good phones. These should be phones that persons want to buy if they are not, Apple sheep like myself. I am an Apple user. I mainly stay away from Android. And it's just because of the type of technology that I have and the type of stuff that I use. I tend to have more Apple phones than anything else. I have an iPhone, I have a Mac Studio, I have a MacBook Pro. So, that kind of give you the gist of what I use. But I like the fact that Samsung has stepped up the game. And mind you, the S22 really did well also. So I can't say that they didn't do well with the S22. And now the S23 is just topping it off. So we'll be looking it out. We'll be looking out and see how much more review. We're not talking about the main reviewers who got the phone from the companies. We're talking about persons, just a regular person who bought their phone and do a review on it. So that's my, what I call it now, review, so to speak, of the event, or my impressions of what they released today in the Galaxy Unpacked 2023. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bless up yourself.